VVS Lakshman, 56 of 162 deliveries, 7 boundaries. He's been out there for 265 minutes. And that's how he's gone. More runs on the leg side, 73% on the leg side, 27% on the offside. So he's used those flicks off the pads, used his wrist to glance it. But most of all, he's been very sound in defence.
The shades, the shadow falling on onto the ground, and we expect a game till 5:30. But this is Lakshman, predominantly on the leg side, and that's 73%. Some information for the opponents.
Good start to the spell for Maroof. A single in the first delivery, and then 3 dot balls.
Bowled a good spell this morning, Maroof. Beat the bat on so many occasions.
Nicely struck, good balance. Off the middle of the bat, no chance of stopping that. Lovely shot.
Just short outside the off stump. Lakshman stands tall and drives. Typical Lakshman's cover drive. And middles it so well this time.
Also tells you that on this pitch, it's probably better to do that than go on the back foot. Anchor yourself when it's fairly short. Big broad blade, plays defensive, and that's the end of the over. 224 for 6. And with that, drinks come on the field.
बेशुमार, उम्दा, खालिस और लजीज, प्राइड का इंतखाब हर दिल के लिए है अजीज।
है मुबारक उनका नाम, दिली मसरत है।
आपकी मोहब्बत प्राइड की आला इंतखाबियत की दलील है। साल हर साल आपके घर की जीनत प्राइड।
Love cricket? Get coached by the legends. Ace Academy have set up development days where you can brush up on your cricketing skills. For £35, you can be coached by the best in cricket, including the likes of Mark Butcher, Darren Gough, Andrew Caddick, Usman Afzal, Vikram Solanki, Chris Lewis, Devon Malcolm, and many more.
The break is...
Development days will take place on the following days. The South, the Oval, 7th and 8th of January 2006. The North, Old Trafford, Manchester, 29th of January 2006. The Midlands, Trent Bridge, 25th and 26th of February 2006. These days are open to any age, both sexes and all standards. Call now for details on 0870 757 3132 or visit www.aceacademy.co.uk. There are no boundaries with ACE.
That's how the Indians have gone after winning the toss this morning and batting first. 224 for 6. Lots of batsmen getting starts, playing good strokes, but again losing their wickets. So the Sri Lankans have picked up 6 wickets. India have recovered from 97 for 5. And the top scorer, of course, VVS Lakshman, not out on 60, and he played some delightful shots.
Maruf, and this was the first one from Lakshman, beautifully driven down the leg side. Flick off the bowling of Murli, and some beautiful cover drives, and this one a square drive by Lakshman. Pull shots, and this time probably the shot of the day so far. Straight as you can expect. Excellent batting by Lakshman. He has been the mainstay so far. Came in at the fall of Gambhir's wicket. He spent almost 267 minutes at the wicket. Faced 166 balls so far.
Malinga at the top there, 18 overs, 2 for 62. Good to see him come back and pick up 2 wickets. Muralidharan, of course, has the best figures, 20 overs, 3 for 75. He's given a few boundaries away, but he's bowled some very good deliveries too. And the leg spinner Bandara, 17 overs, 1 for 49. So some bowling for him to do. Atapattu just using the 4 main bowlers, sticking with them. 67 overs completed, which means still a 23 overs to go. Fair amount of cricket, and the shadows lengthening, and it will be Bandara to continue.
Once the shadow onto the left-hand side of the pavilion starts lengthening onto the ground, that could cause some problems. The Sri Lankans will be happy with their performance today. No Chamindavas, lost the toss, but some excellent bowling has brought them back into the game.
What they've got to make sure now is not to give the Indians too many runs. They had them on the rack at 97 for 5. And Lakshman and Dhoni took it to 183, and this pair have now taken it from 183 to 224. So a partnership is building, and Atapattu must look to break it fairly soon. He's brought back Maruf from the further end. He's bowling with Bandara. Pathan has been playing well. He's got 27 in just 26 deliveries, 5 boundaries. He's in good form, continuing from where he left off in the last innings.
He's very selective, Pathan. He doesn't really hoist every ball that is pitched in front of him. He has a good look of the field placement around him, and then now that the field is fairly spread all over him, he's exercising caution.
3 men on the deep in the leg side field, and 2 down in the deep on the offside. Let's push to one of those deep fielders. They'll probably get 2 as it's been chased around. Maybe satisfied with the 2 as Malinga does the fielding.
Good batting, Irfan Pathan.
And with the field being spread, Sri, like this, there's plenty of opportunities to get 2 runs like that, where he can push the ball into gaps and run.
That's exactly what he did on the previous occasion. Irfan Pathan played it neatly towards the vacant third man region. It's a long chat between Bandara and Atapattu. Silly point goes off. He takes the point region. Atapattu wants to contain the batsman.
I don't think Irfan Pathan will be too disappointed. There is some time to go still in the day, but he wouldn't mind batting without those fielders round the bat.
Excellent batting. Not even once in this over has he gone for the big ones. 3 balls were pitched right in front of him. It was enticing in a way, but that's what is called sound temperament, and this lad has it.
End of Bandara's over. India 226 for 6.
I used to think, why can't there be a supermarket for financial services? Then I discovered ICICI Bank UK and their service. Their high-yield deposits, low-cost remittances to India, and more.
Call us at 08081 314151.
The lights are on. The shadows creeping over the grounds as India have moved to 226 for 6. They batted 68 overs. Rather late in the day, but I suppose better late than never.
$226 for 6. 3.32 is the run rate now.
Nicely driven, but there's a fielder down there at deep cover. So Lakshman continues picking those singles.
Two crucial events that happened, and both of them went against the Sri Lankans. Now these are the ones. Lakshman running forward, bat pad straight in the hands of the silly point fielder, and the umpire was not convinced. And we'll come with the next one in the next one. Now that was out. And this was the run out. It was a big mix-up between Irfan Pathan and Lakshman, and the fielder made a mess of it. Had Sri Lankan got both the wickets at this point in time, Indians would have been struggling with 180 and odd for 8 wickets. This is something Atapattu would be contemplating.
Yes, it's all part of this game. You have the disappointments, there are the ups and the downs, but Atapattu didn't let it affect him. He went on and on with his plans. Dilshan it was who was involved in that throw. I think the other fielder left it to Dilshan, probably thinking he's better at getting to it, better at throwing it, but that was that little fraction of a second which gave Pathan the opportunity to get back. Of course, Irfan Pathan has gone from strength to strength.
Now this guy, Malinga, is running to his left. I don't think he would have really picked the ball and then turned 90 degrees to throw the ball. In my opinion, Malinga did a good job to leave the ball for Dilshan to do the rest. If Malinga had got the ball in his hand, he was supposed to stop, turn, and then throw the ball to the wicketkeeper's hand. I think that would have taken enough time for him to do that.
End of the over, 227 for 6.
खुशियों की तस्वीर मेरा घर रंग सभी सेहत से भरे वक्त बदला न बदला रे
For soft, white chapatis with healthy wholemeal goodness, Elephant Chakki Gold Atta.
227 for 6, with Lakshman on 61, Pathan on 29. Quite a healthy run rate too, 3.29 per over, although wickets have been falling. This pair getting together with the score at 183. So India fighting back and certainly getting themselves into a strong position, because we've talked about it. The question is, how much is enough on the first innings? Maybe 300, but here they've set themselves up to get close to that amount of runs. Use of the feet, driven, but well fielded too.
Oh. 44 is the partnership between these two. Quite a healthy one. 62 balls. So the strike rate is above 0.5, so that's not bad. And looks promising.
Lakshman wanting to use his feet, wanting to come down to Bandara. The last one really dragged him out, because Bandara may have picked him just before he let the ball off, and he had to hurry in the end to make sure he got to the pitch.
One to Lakshman. 61 of 170 balls, 62 of 171 balls, Lakshman. It might appear that he is a little slow in this innings, but given the context of the game, wickets falling regularly at the other end, I think this is a very measured innings from Lakshman.
Yes, certainly he's held it together. Came in at the fall of the first wicket. So he has seen 5 wickets fall while he's been at the other end. Switch of ends means a little time lost. Bandara bowling round the wicket to the left hand and over the wicket to the right hander.
The amazing part of Irfan batting is that since the field has been open, not even one aerial shot. So we got to wait and watch how long he's going to do this.
Another defensive shot ends the over. 228 for 6. .228 for 6. Still plenty of cricket to go. 20 overs remain. Although the pigeons have come to roost, they'll have to wait for a while. Gambhir, Sehwag, Tendulkar, the first 3 out. And then, of course, Yuvraj, Kaif and Dhoni. Maroof perhaps not getting a good foothold there, starting to dig up where he comes and lands continuously.
Last 13 balls of Irfan has not fetched him a single run, so he's thinking about his game. He came in, started off aggressively, played his shots all over the wicket. When the field was closing in, he made sure that some of his aerial shots were safe. But once he has established, once he has seen the field place all over the place, he's defending well. Ranil, the important aspect of a batsman is sound defense. Now this guy can place shots, at the same time he can defend really well. He has a sound technique when it comes to defending the ball. That's crucial for any batsman. And I believe that's because Rahul Dravid always believes that it's the sound defense which will come to your rescue at any point in time.
Yes, a number of the attacking shots are extensions of the defense, and which is the reason why a lot of coaches emphasize on having a sound defense. But the main thing about Pathan is he knows that although there is 19 overs to go after this one, fair chance we won't get everything in. So he's measuring it out, waiting for the loose delivery to play on and go on to the next day. That's sound thinking. That's played nicely. Eased it into the gap. Just a single.
That's Lakshman at his best. Good try by the point region fielder. Couldn't stop one. Seven and 2 field for Irfan Pathan. .229 for 6 India.
My teeth are really sensitive. I had to start ordering a straw with my cold drinks. You're trying to impress a guy and you order a straw and you look like a little girl. He recommended I try a toothpaste specifically designed for sensitive teeth. It's just sorted out my problem. It cleans my teeth, it gives me fresh breath. What more do you need?
.229 for 6. 71 overs completed in the day. There's going to be a change in the bowling. TM Dilshan comes into the attack for the first time, and coming in to take over commentary for the next half hour is Ranjit Fernando, and with him Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan.
Thank you, Ranil. It's been hard work for the Indian batsman, going at 3.23 per over, the batting. Dilshan will have a bowl. Just 5 wickets in his career. More of a part-timer. Bowling from the pavilion end. The over rate has been a major concern. Just 12.5, which means we will go into overtime.
Athapathu has done well to shuffle 4 of his bowlers to try and see that he maintains or keeps the Indians quiet. But it now has come the time where he really needs to bring about a change, as this partnership certainly has grown and has been frustrating the Sri Lankans when they really had India on the run.
There is protection in the deep. Move for the poor delivery, which it was. Just a single to Tharanga. But these are all important runs for India. The lower half of the Indian batting lineup has done extremely well. 97 for 5 at one stage. It's been great from VVS Lakshman.
It's been a rather uncharacteristic innings by him, but under the circumstances one would think that he's really done well to hold the batting together. And the important thing is that he's kept his wicket intact. See, there was a time in the innings where he got into a bit of a defensive mold, but again he's kept his wicket intact, and that is important.
He's batted well, previous Lakshman with Dhoni. That was a good partnership. Worth 86, and this one's looking good too, 47. New generation cricketers, Pathan, Dhoni, all making significant contributions down the order. Down the track and over the top. He's extremely good at shot selection. Another boundary. Also brings up the 50 partnership.
He's so good playing down the ground, and that's really where he's got the bulk of his runs. Whenever there's a man closer in the ring, he's always prepared to come down the wicket and pick up runs down the ground, as you would see. Not afraid to hit it in the air, and again being very successful at this. Good use of the feet. Just see the distance is covered getting to the pitch of the ball.
Change of angle now around the stump, so side screen being adjusted. Straight to delivery this time. But it's the resistance that we're looking at. Very often in the past we've seen India lose their 5 wickets quickly. The last 5 don't contribute. Things are different now. 234 for 6. That's been the story so far. Gambhir getting a start, so did Sehwag, Tendulkar as well. Yuvraj and Mohammad Kaif departing early. Dhoni was out to a good delivery, one short of his 50. Maruf continues, and Lakshman has played it nicely. And it's gone through. Poor fielding in the deep, but Lakshman won't mind it. Important runs again.
That was poured down on the boundary by Lasit, bigger part, it's Bandara, Malinga Bandara, and we really can't give away runs like this. Really didn't get down quickly enough, or low down enough, and let that slip through. Could see the disappointment. I think that was a rather sober way of saying, look, I'm disappointed.
Once again, Bandara in the deep. This time, we'll cut it off. It's been a long day for the players, for all of us here. It's going to be tiring to keep your concentrations level going, and Lakshman is doing very well indeed.
Yes, he's looking to break free, Lakshman, realizing that the Sri Lankans have weary legs. But again, as you did mention, Shiva, I think the riches in batting that India now possesses could be really embarrassing. They're without 239 for 16, 335 minutes. Even without Dravid, and they've also had to leave out Ganguly. So you could see the depth of batting India possesses, and with players in the lower half showing sound signs of developing in their batting, they really have got a lot of strength.
It's just wide of slip. Yet another boundary. Indians have been lucky the last 20 minutes or so. But fortune favours the brave.
When you do slash outside off stump, you need to slash hard. That's really the advice one gives, and that really flew past slip. There's no point groping outside off stump or playing defensively. You just go hard at it. And it cannons off the face of the bat or the edge of the bat.
Often in India you'll find the last session is the most productive. The second session between lunch and tea is the most tiring, but when you get towards the end of day's play, especially, which was the case today, we had the second session was 2.5 hours and the third session 2.5 will go into extra time. So this is the period of play when the players are very tired.
So we also know in the first test match, Sri Lanka let India off the hook only in one session, or maybe a little bit in another session as well. And that was really where India got going. India 243 for 6.
So 86, the partnership between Lakshman and Dhoni, came at a time when India were 97 for 5, and then this partnership of 60. Still to come, Ajit Agarkar, Anil Kumble and Harbhajan can all bat. Kind of batting lineup that India would love to have. It'll be very dangerous if their top order start to fire. You got the Sehwags, Tendulkar, Mathai Muralidharan going off the field, and that will be a problem.
As you could see, some sort of limp in Muralidharan. He was never himself throughout the innings, but kept on going despite whatever injury he's been carrying. That's the man, really. He's played a secondary role in both partnerships, Dhoni and Pathan being the dominant ones.
Again getting the single.
This they've been doing so well. They're picking up the singles in both partnerships, and the boundaries have been bonuses. So Marvin Athapathu, you really need to try and work out some strategy to try and pick up a wicket at this stage. They were unfortunate with Lakshman earlier on, but that's under the water now.
Pathan's 37, coming in just 47 balls, 7 fours. Very lucky again, getting a thick part of the inside edge. He's worked hard for 38. Now what he needs to do is keep going, play on the merit of the delivery. It's a part-time where you can just get carried away and try and play the big shots and lose your wicket. He needs to carry on till the close of play.
It's really been a thorn in the Sri Lankans. Whenever he's come to the wicket, the Sri Lankans have always felt that they've had a chance, but he's kept going.
Yeah, that's the worst scenario. As a bowler, somebody like Irfan Pathan coming in, taking a lot of chances, you think you always have a good chance of getting him out. But the longer he stays, suddenly you find runs against his name, a partnership building. Realize India now not too bad, 245 for 6.
It's also very demoralizing when you have a batsman who really couldn't be classed as one, more an all-rounder who's just in the making, picking up runs, and you can't dispense of him early enough.
I think the Indians are being very clever, Ranjit. They're not yet announcing that Irfan Pathan is their all-rounder. They're saying in the making, and not putting pressure on the young man, and he's delivering every time he's going out. We'll come back to that. It's 2:45 for 6.
Worldwide holidays and flights from around the world at affordable prices from Southall Travel. To India for its diverse culture. Dubai, pamper yourself in luxurious hotels. Pakistan for its religious festivals. USA, offering an amazing range of family adventures. Thailand, the jewel of Southeast Asia. And Egypt with its ancient history. Plus many more worldwide destinations. Talk to our travel advisors for impartial advice. Call 24 hours 0870 900 3000 for our selection of worldwide flights and holidays.
VVS Lakshman on 70. Pathan on 38. It's come in very good time of 48 deliveries. 22 extras conceded by Sri Lanka. Just getting to that point, Ranil, they know people in India think of cricket as a religion. And they have a great fan following. They might put pressure on young Pathan if they did classify him as an all-rounder.
Also, I think, Shiva, they've cleverly used him, particularly in his batting positions. He's been shuffled around, and also they've ensured that there isn't too much pressure on him. So I would reckon that when they do that, you don't tend to focus too much attention on him. And this is why I think Pathan has been successful. So as soon as the Sri Lankans start reading him as a batsman who's a threat, then they're going to put a lot of pressure on him.
Knowing this country, the kind of pressure that cricketers go through is enormous. From the outside, from the spectators, from the fans. So the team management is doing extremely well. It's very clever that they are not putting pressure on Irfan Pathan. Once they do classify him as an all-rounder, he's going to be compared to the great Kapil Dev. And they'd expect him to perform every time he goes out in the middle with the bat and the ball.
All credit to young Pathan as well. He's kept his head on his shoulders, which is so important at this stage, and his feet on the ground, purely because he could get carried away with his performances and the expectations from the crowds. And he's very, very young, and as you see, encouragement coming from the other end as well when he's at the wicket. They're still treating him as someone who's very young in years and has to be nursed and nurtured.
Good carry. Pathan on 38. Apparently his father was watching the match, the telematch on television. Now he's watching it live here.
Yes, when you are a parent, it's never easy to get to a ground to watch your son play. Always on edge. And the father of Irfan Pathan.
Bit of inside edge. Still willing to bend his back.
So all credit to these Sri Lankan bowlers, both the Malinga, Lasith Malinga and Maharoof. They've shouldered a huge responsibility in the absence of Chaminda Was. And it's been a creditable performance on a pitch which really hasn't too much life for them. And Maharoof, as we know, is not the quickest, but he's bowled a good line and length. Just 34 runs so far in his 16th over.
It's 2:45-6. Winning the toss and deciding to bat first, India got themselves into a tangle at 97 for 5. Good rearguard action. Vivius Lakshman has batted against his natural instinct. He loves to play short, but he's curbed his shot making. Pathan keeping good company. Get a single. Malinga Bandara, the fielder.
Sri Lakshman now very fortunate earlier on that catch which was disallowed. But having seen this catch, Shiva, so there you are, this that big edge, one really wonders whether there is a way to try and use technology far more effectively. There has been a suggestion that you give the fielding side 2 appeals on catches which have been disallowed, where they could go to the third umpire to get a reversal, just 2 each innings, and that being a maximum, and whether that could be a solution to situations such as this.
I did have a word with Billy Bowden in the morning about the amount of frequent flyer points he has. He's been traveling the world. I just told him this morning it's going to be pretty noisy. Probably would require a earpiece. But this is what happened. Malinga Bandara, the fielder, is doing some damage to his ankle.
These stoppages certainly are not going to help to try and get through the 90 overs. We're already behind time. Just 15 more overs to go. And the light really not the best. They've got the lights on the towers on already. The umpires just having a word with the fielders, looking to hasten things up.
Getting back to your point, Ranjit, about technology. So the earpiece is used by the umpires, the stump mic on it to get to the bat pads. I think it could be made permanent, especially in the subcontinent, whether it's big stadiums, a lot of people coming in. And because of the crowd noise, you do not listen at times to the inside edges. And then the benefit of doubt goes to the batsman. They'll probably start using it. Some umpires are very comfortable with that.
Certainly hitting the middle whenever he does play with a straight bat, Irfan Pathan. And he does get a long stride, whether it's pace or spin. Once again, getting up to the pitch of it. Dilshan, not a great spinner of the ball. Has a tendency when he comes around to try and drift it into the pads or into the left-hander. So one needs to have bat and pad close together, particularly when playing Dilshan. But this pitch, extremely slow. The ball really wouldn't creep through unless you've got a very wide gap.
And I just have to go back to the previous match again. We saw a lot of wickets falling on day 1 in Delhi, and as we progress later into the match, it became much easier to bat on. It's just about batsmen applying themselves. Seen both the pitches, difficult to get in. As the batsman, once you spend considerable time, we'll come back to that in just a moment. It's 246 for 6.
I used to think, why can't there be a supermarket for financial services? Then I discovered ICICI Bank UK and their service, their high-yield deposits, low-cost remittances to India, and more.
Call us at 08081 314151.
13 overs per hour. They've got to get something about 15. It's been very slow indeed. The run rate not too bad, 3.9 on this pitch is very good.
India has looked to accelerate after early starts where batsmen really have found it difficult to get away right from the beginning. So the Sri Lankans using their quicker bowlers with the spinners, which means that the over rates will be pulled back even more.
Takes a lot of time, Marwan Atapattu, to get his field right. The situation here in India where you can't start too early. Remember, the play was delayed by an hour this morning because of overnight dew on the outfield.
So the Sri Lankans just a shave below 13 on their over rates, and with the ICC really not having any penalties for slow over rates, it doesn't really put any pressure on any side in Test cricket. So one really wouldn't find difficult to explain why sides really just linger on.
You're starting to wonder how many overs did spinners bowl. They bowled quite a few overs. There was Murli, there was Malinga Bandara. Let's take a look. 20 for Muralidharan, 19 for Malinga Bandara. So the spinners have had 39 overs and we're still short. Can't believe it. And not to miss out 3 overs from Dilshan. 42 overs.
This one really would look at a benchmark for Test cricket at 15 overs per hour, and anything below that certainly isn't acceptable.
It's a problem they had in Delhi, Ranjit. They just bowled about 65 overs, I think, on day 3. And they were not able to take the new ball first thing in the morning when they should have actually bowled 75 or very close to 80 overs. Today the situation, they might just bowl 80 or a little over, so the new ball might be due tomorrow morning. And also, it'll be interesting to see what the umpires do. We normally see that when they call off play at one particular time, say 5 or 5:30, on day 1, they more or less follow the same pattern on day 2, 3 and 4 and 5.
We just saw umpire Billy Bowden just walk across to Marwan Atapattu and have a word with him. Once not quite certain what that was all about, but I get the feeling that must be something to do with the Sri Lankans looking to hasten things up. Slow delivery ball really not carrying, dying on the wicket-keeper as well, showing that unless you put a lot of effort, bend your back on this track, you're going to find it getting slower and slower.
Well, cross seam delivery, not bowling the conventional seam up. To hit the shiny side and just get it off. So the artificial lights have taken over from natural light. .246 for 6.
Right arm over.
.63 the partnership between Lakshman and Pathan. Seeing India to a reasonable score at the moment. 77 overs have been bowled. Plenty of young kids at the ground. Murli back into the attack.
With the way this pitch really has been playing throughout, particularly against someone like Muralidharan, picking up 3 wickets for 75 in 20 overs, India would be very happy with a total of anything above 300 psychologically, as they would find themselves in a position where they would be able to take control. So the Sri Lankans are desperate for a wicket at this stage. So the introduction of Muralidharan, who's been the man they've always turned to when wickets were hard to come by.
Landed shot fine leg for the top hit sweep. It's not a bad ploy. I'd like to see the deep square leg come in. If they're looking for the top edge sweep, the deep square leg is right on the boundary. Only bring it in about 8 to 10 yards. Right on the fence. That's more to cut off the boundary. Parvez Maroof, a deep square leg. If you're looking for the catch, he's got to be in.
It would seem that Muralidharan is quite content just going through the overs, not giving runs away. He's really not looking to buy the wicket of Pathan. It's very flat on his trajectory. Bowling quickly, speeds of 88, which is on the quicker side.
And look at the revolution of the ball in the air. Dying down on the batsman. And sloppy work. Picking up a single.
You could see that Muralidharan is having some difficulty about moving around. He really didn't, that's really squatted on Pathan, but Muralidharan not energetic, not really putting in an effort to run across to pick up or save the single. Again, showing that he's carrying some sort of injury and pain.
More attacking for VBS Lakshman. Silly point and short leg. .247 for 6.
Santoshi and Madhu's lets you celebrate New Year's Eve in style with a choice of 2 prestigious venues. Enjoy a 4-course meal at the London Hilton Park Lane with the fabulous entertainment of Shamma and Friends. Or you can bring in 2006 at Sheraton Skyline Mumbai Nights. To reserve your tickets, call Santoshi on 07747 100 218 or 0208 843 2461. Bring in the new year with a bang.
So the umpires getting together, Billy Bowden and Nadeem Ghauri, offering the light to the batsman, and they will take it. 5:35 local time. Play has been called off on day 1 of this third test match between India and Sri Lanka in the Vidicon Cup Test Series. Match started 1 hour late, 10:30 local time. India winning the toss and deciding to bat first. Virendra Sehwag is leading the side in the absence of Rahul Dravid. Had no hesitation in choosing to bat first. These two will be very happy. VVS Lakshman not out 71, Pathan not out 39. Partnership between these two, 64 valuable runs at an important time, and they're looking good for a few more.
The Sri Lankans too had their moments, and there you are, that's the card. Gambhir went early. Sehwag, he made a contribution, but Lakshman, he's really held the batting together. Of course, with those very useful partnerships with Dhoni and Pathan, who played major roles.
Good start by Malinga, playing his first test match in this series. 2 for 62 for him. Picked the wicket of both the openers, Gambhir and Sehwag, once again the star. Bothaya Muralidharan picking up 3 wickets, including Tendulkar. Maling Bandara just missed. Mohammad Kaif, the short delivery, pulls straight to mid-wicket. Those were the wicket takers. The way it stands, India winning the toss into